The fact that you said, I think it rather suggests, I mean, it does. It says that they had a party. The fact that she answered that with, I went home before laughing, and then he asked, would the Prime Minister condone having a Christmas party because they're wargaming the whole idea? And she said, what's the answer to that? Because they don't know how to defend it, because in the end, she has to defend the indefensible, doesn't she? That the fact that we were all being told to lock down, they're having parties. Then they were going into the whole idea of whether it was, is cheese and wine a party?
It was a business meeting that evolved. It was a sort of natural, it sort of became case. I think they're thinking it's a bit like an Aaron Sorkin scenario, you know, where during like the West Wing, where they work all night and they call in pizzas and gradually it became... But, of course, those Aaron Sorkin scenes are not during the time of the pandemic.
Hang on a minute. There was also, I've read here, Secret Santas and party games. I mean, I've often had business meeting with Secret Santas and party games.
It's a training exercise.
I know we're doing some work here, but should we just have a game of Twister? I mean, it's beyond belief. But
is Allegra Stratton herself featuring in these fantasy scenarios for you? That's what I want to know.
With Twister.
It's quite a racy name somehow.
Do you know, I like Allegra Stratton. I certainly liked her when she was presenting. I remember she used to be on Newsnight.
No, you're thinking of Michaela Strachan.
That would be... I knew there was...
She was a journalist, though.
I remember when that job was advertised, incidentally, press secretary for Boris, and I thought maybe a comedian, that would be a good role.
Did you apply for it?
No, I did have a think about it, because I'd seen the ones that used to work for Trump, and it looked like, you remember, I mean, some of those guys, they were in for a fortnight at longest, weren't they? But it was a great career.
No, I'm really sad now. I think imagining you going out and speaking, giving those presses. Go on, give us your... How would you say...
Don't bother me with this trivial party nonsense. There are serious issues for the Prime Minister to address.
But what? You see, they've missed a trick here. If they're going to if they're going to war game and role play the response to the thing, why didn't they just say, yes, what we were doing was role playing, what if somebody were to have an office meeting that evolved into an illegal Christmas party?
Yes, very nice.
How would we recommend people deal with that clearly illegal situation and resolve it peacefully and calmly in a legal manner?
Everything is purely hypothetical, is what you're saying.
Exactly. And they could have just said, no, the whole thing was a wargaming exercise to see what would happen. What would we advise people to do in workplaces if their perfectly normal business
meeting
meeting
feel about this, Ian?
Suddenly evolved into cheese and wine and party games?
They would do that if they cared, I think. But I don't think they genuinely care.